When you watch a speedrun of any popular game, you're effectively watching the result of years or decades of not only optimal in-game performance, but also a collective exhibition of all the knowledge that players have learned and extracted from the game over its history. Much of this knowledge comes from playing the game, trying new things, finding interesting results, and trying to understand or replicate these situations. And sometimes increasingly commonplace these days, knowledge is discovered by tool-assisted speedrunners or scientists using emulators and other technology to look for exploitable openings deep into a game's code, like some kind of elite hacker from CSI or something. Oftentimes, like in the case of the famous wrong warp in Ocarina of Time, some combination of players stumbling upon something unusual, combined with years of scientific examination and exploration to the game's code, can lead to the discovery of game-changing speedrun strategies. Other times, like in the case of Super Mario 64's Tick-Tock Clock Warp Up the Clock, mass study and scrutiny of an anomalous phenomenon results in no progress whatsoever, and little in the way of a conclusive understanding. GoldenEye 007 is no exception to the latter, and I'm about to show you some of the strangest things we've ever seen happen in 20 years of playing and speedrunning this game. My hope is that perhaps this video will draw some more attention to these phenomena so they can be further researched, understood, and ultimately lead to developments in speedrunning the game. So grab your cozy blanket and steeped tea and enjoy these 5 extremely mysterious things seen in GoldenEye, which are still not fully understood or explained to this day. Number 5. This first mystery took place on May 5th, 2008 in Sweden. Speedrunning on Cradle's secret agent or 00 agent used to be contingent on waiting for a guard to pull a grenade, something that only happens about once every 30 minutes, in order to use that grenade to kill Trevelyan when he isn't in his invincibility frames. This was known to be the only way to get a time better than 44 seconds, and what this meant is that if you were playing a Cradle session going for a personal record in the 35 to 40 second range, most of your session would involve playing the level, not getting a grenade, therefore failing the mission, and just running on to the end for the sake of going through the motions, practice, and muscle memory. On this run, Axel was trying to beat his personal record of 40 seconds, but he didn't get a grenade. So he proceeded through the hut and console area, just going through these motions. At this point, the run had a 0% chance of completion. Or so we thought. There's no way, other than a grenade, to deal enough damage to Trevelyan in order to kill him on Secret Agent, in between the hut and the ending platform. But just at the end of the stage, Trevelyan's second message, "You could have joined me," appears, implying he's taken an instance of damage. Axel goes to quit out, but the level fades out and completes instead. At some point in between Axel going down the ramp towards the lower area and getting to the final platform, Trevelyan took enough damage to die, completing Objective B. This had never been seen before or since. The only sensible explanation, albeit an anomalous one, is that a guard or Trevelyan himself threw a rogue grenade which bounced in just the right spot to kill Trevelyan. Even stranger is that explosions are very laggy in GoldenEye, and it's easy to tell if a grenade has gone off based on the way your game shakes or dropped frames, even if you're halfway across the level. And in this video, it doesn't appear like any grenade went off in the time frame where Trevelyan dies. Some theoretical explanations involve Trevelyan clipping through the rail and falling to his death, but even this isn't a good explanation. If you watch this next clip from Eddie Lovins, there's actually a floor to the Cradle level, and if you're killed while falling off, your body will sink down to this floor, while guards jump down and they don't die. Presumably Trevelyan wouldn't die either. Sean Bean would have been quite happy to hear of this video game alternate timeline. We may never know what really happened on the Cradle run here, and based on the slow speed of Trevelyan's death in comparison to more modern strategies, it probably wouldn't be all that useful in speedrunning. But we'll never know for sure unless we have a more full understanding of this strange occurrence. Number 4. This next clip comes from perennial top 50 player Greg Larkin, who is trying to improve his 0-point scoring record of 56 seconds on Egypt Secret Agent. Egypt is a pretty simple level whose objectives are picking up the golden gun and then killing the Baron Samdi 3 times. If the Baron has a line of sight on you after he's fully loaded, he'll start rolling around and shooting at you. But that's not what happened on Larkin's run. For some completely unknown reason after Larkin approached the final Baron, the Baron was frozen in time. Larkin was jarringly shocked and played around a little bit before easily shooting the Baron to his death. We have no idea why or how this happened, though we joke that the Baron was so surprised at Larkin's horrific headshot attempt, missing so badly he hit the obelisk, that the Baron just froze in shock. But it would be useful in a couple speedrun modes if we actually understood what happened and figured out how to replicate it. This is what it normally looks like when you're fighting the final Baron. He rolls around and shoots you quickly with 100% accuracy. Of course, on a world record run of 45 seconds right now, the Baron's animation doesn't matter, because in order to get the record you have to nail a headshot from around the corner through the smoke before he even has time to react. So even if we were able to replicate Larkin's frozen Baron, it wouldn't have much of an impact on the stage's record. But it would be useful in a couple places. Single segment runs often have battles with the Baron, as the headshot is pretty tough to nail every time, and the Baron's spawn position varies by a few pixels, in relation to your position within the level at the time he spawns. So oftentimes we just end up chasing him around the room. The battle on 00 Agent is fairly easy to win though, as you only need to shoot him once in the head with your golden gun to kill him, and he has to hit you 8 times with his lasers to kill you. But a frozen Baron would be extremely useful in the much tougher battle in Dark License to Kill or Max Stats mode. In this mode it takes 9 of your headshots with the golden gun to kill the Baron, and any shot from his laser kills you. So it becomes a struggle of trying to hit his head while placing yourself around the center obelisk or keeping your position so close to him that he can't hit you. If we were ever to figure out how to replicate Larkin's frozen Baron, the final Baron on Dark License to Kill would be faster and much easier. But to this day, no one has ever seen the Baron standing still like this again. Number 3. This next clip dates back to April 2012 and comes from Greg Wall, a veteran former top 30 player and GoldenEye historian largely responsible for upkeeping the Elite World Record database. Watch the clip and see if you can notice anything strange. If you didn't notice it right away, look again. Wall takes out the key analyzer to complete the objective, but can't get out the key in all the chaos. When he pauses to quit out, the data thief is displayed as the item he's holding in the watch menu, despite him never having switched away from the key analyzer. Wall was already well into his muscle memory of finishing the quit out, so he couldn't look around and figure out why this was, but he was still shocked and had enough sense to capture and upload this anomaly for further study. This blew our minds for a while as many eliters tried replicating this strange event, but failed. The hope was that Wall had stumbled upon the ability to change menu items without having to pause, which could have saved 5 seconds or more on many levels. It wasn't until about 5 months later that GoldenEye tool assist and emulator king Henrik Weister Nordgren was able to explain what happened. In a forum post from September 2012, Henrik detailed how every item in your GoldenEye menu is assigned a number from 0 to however many items you have. On this level, unarmed is item 0, your PP7 is item 1, your camera is item 2, key analyzer 3, data thief 4. When you pick up the GoldenEye key, it becomes number 5. However, if you pick up a KF7, which is listed with the guns before the items, the KF7 becomes item number 2, and every other item gets bumped back 1 place. If you were to pick up a Klob or another weapon, it would be listed sequentially, and some other items would all get bumped back again. So what happened to Wall was this. Wall first pauses and selects the key analyzer, or item number 3. Once you press Z to start the analysis, you begin holding the GoldenEye key, or item number 5. When Wall paused to quit out, a grenade went off, killing the group of guards blocking him. So he began pausing with item number 5 in his hand, but the grenade killed the guards, causing them to drop a KF7 in his path, which he picked up. The KF7 became item number 2 in his list, bumping back every item that follows it in sequence, which meant that the key he was holding would go to item 6, and the data thief, formerly item number 4, became item number 5. He started pausing while holding item number 5, but during the process of pausing, he picked up another item, which changed which item was number 5, and so his pause displayed that item instead. Wow! Does that make any sense? Thank goodness for INTJ personality types to look into this kind of stuff for us. Unfortunately, with this glitch, the items are only displayed, not actually held actively in Bond's hand. So despite Wall's video displaying the data thief, later testing has shown that if he were to have continued, he would have still actually been holding the GoldenEye key. So sadly, it's not a useful speedrunning trick. However, if we were able to switch menu items without pausing, it would be probably the most game-breaking thing ever discovered in GoldenEye, with massive time saves potentially on Bunker 1, Silo, and Frigate, to name a few. No one has really looked deeply into this though beyond Henrik's original investigation and explanation. So who knows what might be out there waiting to be discovered sometime in the future. Number 2.
It happens. Ghost door.
The ghost door, as so eloquently put by Ryan Cook in this clip, is a phenomenon where the second door before Michigan on Archives is randomly open on secret and double agent runs. This happens with some frequency, and happened on my Archives Secret Agent 55, which was a world record back in early 2006, but no one knows what exactly causes this to happen. Anyone who has played out thousands of runs for an Archives 55 or 54 has probably seen this happen at least once, but it still doesn't really explain it, as the ghost doors seem to pop up on any random run that usually seem no different at all from ones before it. Randy found a way to recreate this with some consistency by firing one bullet right here at this set of double doors. In this case, you'll see the ghost door opens, but a guard is clearly behind the door opening it. In the case of Cook's video, no guard is present, making it truly a ghost door. Randy also claimed that his recreations seemed to create a lot of lag, likely because his extra bullet alerted movement from other guards, making the time gain on the open door minimal, if not a loss. So how can we possibly get a consistent ghost door without alerting extra guards? No one's ever been able to find a way. This is the first mysterious thing on this list that potentially has significant time-saving consequences on the world rankings immediately, probably saving between 2 to 5 tenths of a second, or somewhere thereabouts. And a consistent way to get the door open without causing lag would probably be just enough to help tip the levels record from 54 to 53 seconds. But given how the ghost door happens on runs that are almost exactly the same as every other run before it, and we've seen this phenomenon for more than a decade still with no real explanation, it seems like there might never be a consistent method discovered here. Number 1. For years and years, we always theorized what would happen if an out-of-bounds trick was ever discovered in GoldenEye. Would it completely shatter every known strategy and lower the times on every single stage, redefining how the game is played? Probably, we thought. It was truly unbelievable to us that as the years went on, out-of-bounds had never happened, especially when it's so commonplace in speedruns of every other popular Nintendo 64 game. Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, and even GoldenEye's spiritual successor, Perfect Dark, made by the same developer, Rare, has multiple out-of-bounds clips which are useful in speedrunning. But no! In the years and years we've been running GoldenEye, no one had ever been out of bounds. Not intentionally, not accidentally, not even the tool assist and emulator guys could figure it out. We both lamented and praised just how well built GoldenEye was as a game, and how perhaps we'd never find a way out of bounds to explore a new world of GoldenEye. That is until December 29th, 2014, when Dan Swiss Parker was playing Train. Swiss just clipped through the train, randomly, during a speedrun attempt. Swiss is clearly stunned, and then just feels around for a bit, exploring this new world he's discovered. Unfortunately, it seems that no part of the train, except for the room he'd left, is loaded at all. So there's nothing to do once clipped out of bounds. Resident tool-assisted speedrunner Henrik couldn't manage to replicate this organically on an emulator. But he did manage to hack and unload the walls in order to put Bond in a similar position, and Henrik was able to share a few thoughts. It doesn't seem like you can actually advance through the level to another room, as there's sort of a mini portal at every door which loads the next room. Since you're not passing through one of these, the next area never gets loaded. There's also a point in the video where Swiss's watch later is shooting guards at a very strange angle, which Henrik believes indicates that the game still thinks Bond's position is in the place where he left the normal field of play. Interestingly, Henrik did manage to follow the path of the train towards the end of the level's despawn zone, and the level did indeed fade out, just like it does normally in that spot. However, Objective C on Train Agent is to escape the train, and ironically it only counts as escaping if you pass through the hatch in the last car after shooting off the locks. Just another shocking example of how well built GoldenEye is, almost as if the developers took some anomalous clipping out of the level into account. But while clipping out and running to the end doesn't work on Train, it could theoretically work on some levels where the only objectives involve getting to the end of the stage, like Street Agent or Caverns Agent. The question though became, was this a one-off miracle, or could clipping out of bounds become a regular thing in GoldenEye? In February 2017, more than 2 years after the Swiss clip, Gus Riolo uploaded a video, WTF Silo, which showed a similar out-of-bounds clip on Silo Agent. He went to quit out after being blocked by guards, and his pause seemed to be interrupted by pressing R to aim, which clipped him cleanly through the corner. The result seemed very similar to the Swiss clip, only the room which he clipped out from had been loaded. He couldn't advance to any other rooms, despite clearly moving around, and also couldn't get back to a point in the loaded room where the guards would acknowledge his presence. Again, this one has never been replicated. One of the most remarkable things about these clips are that Gus and Swiss are both newer GoldenEye players, only having been around since about 2013. Many players have been playing this game solidly for over 10 or nearly 20 years, hundreds of hours per year, and never seen anything like this. But Gus and Swiss in their young careers are the ones to clip out of bounds in their comparably far fewer in-game hours. This leads into some speculation that the clips might have something to do with either a crooked cartridge or an aging cartridge, but it's all just pure conjecture. We don't know what causes this. We may never know what exactly happened for these meant to clip out of bounds in GoldenEye, but the fact it's been done twice implies it's not a one-off glitch. Who knows if another clip is waiting to be found around the corner with a consistent method, and perhaps something that even saves time in a speedrun. So those are 5 extremely mysterious things we've encountered while speedrunning GoldenEye in all our 20-year history, which still puzzle us and have unexplored ends to this day. It's absolutely incredible when something happens and dozens of people who have spent so much time playing the game are seeing it for the first time. Have you ever seen something similar while playing GoldenEye? I'm especially curious if any of you have remembered clipping out of bounds at any point in your lifetime, or any other crazy things that maybe happened to you while playing this game years ago. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more GoldenEye and speedrun content. Feel free to suggest any lists or pieces of the game you'd like to see me make a video about. I really appreciate all the nice comments about my Speed Lore series and other vids. It really does mean a lot, guys, so thank you very much. Stay true, and I'll see you all in my next stream or video.